Hit the bell and thank you always for watching. The coming destruction of our organized religion. I want you to leave your comment on whether or not you think that our religion will come to an end, or is this just a dogma that has already been written that will come to an end? Is it a genuine end, or is it just man penned that will come to an end and that's why it's coming to an end? Or is it really spiritual? That's why it's coming to an end, and whether there were any books written, it would walk out this way no matter what. Or is it walking out this way because it's been mapped out this way? All right, later on we're going to hear about a very important 33rd degree Mason and Freemason, and we're going to see what he think about World War One, Two, and Three, and whether or not the destruction of our religion actually is planned and been mapped out by the pens of men and been labeled dogma and religion. All right, so let's go for it. Organized religion going out of business. Business sounds like something that you have to sell to a person in order for them to want it. Okay. Control the oil, control the world. There's a show called out The Dome. I think it's from 2015 or something like that. My husband and I had purchased one episode, and it was talking about this city having shipped in oil and then they got domed in, and it was very weird how they were actually talking about oil. So control the oil, control the world. I would say control the fiat currency, the petrol, which is the oil. Our dollar was backed by the petrol. What is it backed by now? Maybe it's still backed by the Saudis petrol. I have no idea at this point. It's pretty much just a piece of paper, in all honesty, because of all of this inflation and the Federal Reserve. But let's move on. Control the oil, control the world. But really the power is in the gold, because the gold is what the Anunnaki have always wanted, because Nibiru will always need gold to repair its atmosphere. And this is really what it's about. The earth is just a resource spot for the Anunnaki. And they have their agents, and their agents are on both sides, red and blue. And that's why you always will have a transformation. Transformation is purple. Transitory periods of time and money represent the purple. Red and blue together makes purple. So whether the red's doing it or whether the blue's doing it, they're both driving the same minivan, taking a whole bunch of folks down a path inside of written documentation, convincing you through predictive programming that you need to go down this certain path in order for their Elohim to get what their Elohim wants, whether male or female Elohims. U.S. foreign policy, the Ukrainian factor. So let's go for this. Their end game, the total global domination through materialism, or what do they call it? Consumerism, coercion, and artificial intelligence. Their method, divide and conquer, red and blue, male and female. Now they're into total confusion. Now they're saying that a woman isn't even a woman. She can be a man. Where a woman is a man with a womb. And if you don't have a womb, then you can't be a woman. Unless you had one, you got it removed. But you're still a woman. Okay? Let's move forward. I'm not going to go into all that. The way, while everyone is preoccupied arguing over their perceived differences, these evil people use wars and to solve the problems they manufacture, while consolidating and compounding wealth and power. Old money. Okay? Old money. I mean, they use vaccines to obtain that old money as well, to keep that old money flowing. The following is an extract from the infamous August 15, 1871 letter sent from 33rd degree Freemason Albert Pike to Illuminati director Philippe Mazzini, showing how the three world wars have been planned for many generations. So they're only planning it because it was wrote about in the Bible and the Quran and in the Tanakh. However, Albert Pike's telling you that this has been planned by the pens of wicked men, by illuminated men that sit underneath Lucifer, okay, the Jesuits, okay, the CIA, Come on. The First World War must be brought about, this is what he's saying, in order to permit the Illuminati to overthrow the powers of czars in Russia and of making that country a fortress of atheist communism. The divergences caused by the H'ers or agents of the Illuminati, the Jesuits, between the British and the German empires will be used to foment this war. At the end of the war, communism will be built and used in order to destroy other governments in order to weaken the regime. Now, who's trying to bring in communism now? Well, of course, they could have picked. Well, I'm gonna just say it. Okay, Kamala, Savage, Wolves. This $25,000 that they're doing, this $2,500, $2,400 a month on a card. They're already giving out money to those persons who came underneath the wall or underneath the bridge. They didn't go through the gate because they have no respect for our rules and regulations. Just like the Zionists, Biden and Kamala's husband, the Zionist, And go watch my video. It's a car that have different drivers. It's a bird that got two different heads with two wings. Same bird, okay? The Second World War, but I'm just dealing with the people that's driving the car now, okay? Must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences between the fascists and the political Zionists. So remember, Biden said he is a Zionist, okay? He's a Zionist. Ashley, his daughter's husband, is a Zionist. Not Ozzy Naughty, who worships the Anunnaki, okay? The ones that our bodies to this frame. We were sort of demoted. Our intelligence was lowered because you'll be like God. Well, lo and behold, we must be only like the ones that's inside of this dome. Or you will be of the frame of mind of dogma. This war must be brought about so that the Nazism is destroyed, and that the political Zionists will be strong enough to institute a sovereign state of Israel and Palestine. It's all about politics. It really isn't about what you think it's about. Anyway, teachers on. During the Second World War, international communism must be strong enough in order to place Christendom, which will be restrained and held in check until the time we need it. So look, they hold a lot of stuff. You wonder why your ministers and your bishops and your preachers, they don't speak out about certain things, and they fly in these planes and got Maseratis and got Porsche and got all these expensive cars with these suits that cost $3,000 or $4,000. It's because they're a brotherhood. They're agents. Yeah, they're agents. Does he wear an apron? Does he wear an apron? That apron that has that G that locks down the dome, to keep the dome locked in, to complete their will being done. That's why they're genoing right now with the gene therapy that they started in 2020. Well, they did one in 1918, but influenza isn't like this new thing they came out with that a lot of people spiraling to the ground with. The Third World War must be fomented by taking the advantage and the differences caused by the agents of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. So you'll always see someone from the Middle East married to someone that believes in a political Zionism. So you got Kamala and her husband. You got Biden's daughter, and Biden's a Zionist. You got Trump and his daughter, and Trump's son-in-law is a Zionist, Ozzy Nazi. You got Kamala. You got Obama. He's side in the Christian church, but he's actually Islamic because he was raised at 6 years old. He was in a St. Francis academy school as a child for a while to get that first initial training. You gotta train them up in the way they should go, or the way you want them to go. When they're old, they won't depart from that way. so they'll still have it in them. So he's been in both Islam and he's been Christendom. Okay, I did a video on it. You know. So you got these people that's just one side or the other side. It doesn't matter. Political Zionism, State of Israel and Asia and UK, US and UK, Christian Zionism mutually destroy each other. Religion, my religion slash your religion equals war. So my dogma slashes your dogma divided by your dogma equals war. Chaos, terror, horror, hell on earth. So, yeah. Someone else's religion comes in and cuts up your religion. Whether your religion is the dominant religion, there will be another religion. If your religion is the one on the top line, another religion will come in and destroy it. Whether it's don't believe in nothing, which that's not bad if you understand that. That's not bad if you understand that you can read books that have structure and have advice. So, okay, I like that. I like that. That makes sense. If you can reason. People that think that people who don't believe in a God or Elohim is wicked people don't understand, or angry people don't understand most people who don't believe in these gods inside of this dome. I don't label myself anything because it's just not how I am. I don't like to label myself because that's just too short. I don't label myself anything, but I am an eternal being that's done with this game, inside of being inside of this game. It says we shall unleash the nihilists. Let's look at this. And the atheists. Reject fundamental aspects of human existence such as knowledge, morality, and meaning. May believe that all values are baseless, that nothing can be known or communicated, and that existence is senseless and useless. They also may believe that political or religious organizations are bad, or that there are no principles or beliefs that have any meaning such to be true. So it says, we shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists, and we shall provoke a formidable social catalysm, which in all is horror, will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute origins of savagery and the most bloody turmoil. So, if they want to say that atheism is savagery, then you have to think about all of the different Elohim that have caused wars and that put rules and regulations and that permit people to do certain things that other people say, well, that's not righteous, that's not upright. I think the issue is those who want to control the matrix and be in the hierarchical power of gods and Elohim. I think they're actually the problem. In all honesty, I really do. To me, a person who don't care to put their trust in anything but goes within. I don't know if atheists go within. Have no idea. But I would assume if you're here, you're in the game. If you don't believe to look outside of yourself, then you might need to spend some time looking inside yourself. And then these people here sound like they just need to their owner. It's like, yeah, what you're doing makes sense, but you have to still not just give up on life and say screw everything. I'm just gonna sit here and just walk around. You have to really get about knowing yourself. So these people here, I think they need to know themselves. And then these people here, okay, you don't want to believe in anybody else. Well, you're gonna have to at least have some hope in yourself, not worship yourself, but know that both of these people just need to know that the game is more to the game than what you think. There's things outside of the game, and if you go to heaven or hell, that's still inside the game. So please don't get that misunderstood. What I'm trying to say. Okay. Anyway, did I read that part? Yeah. Then everywhere the citizens up obliged to defend themselves against the world minority of revolutionaries. The world minority revolutionaries. So I guess he's talking about the judge of CIA. And will exterminate those shores of civilization and multitude, disillusioned with Christianity. So see, this is what they want you to do. They want you to be disillusioned. So even if you give up on the book, and you realize that it's been really penned by man, and they're leading you down predictive programming, they're leading you down mass formation. You've been in mass formation like a sheep, like a lamb, and that's why they call you sheep and lamb. Go study sheep and lamb. They're very dumb. They rarely look up. You would think they're in a coma. The disillusioned with Christianity. They want you disillusioned with Christianity. Fine. Let's say you say, I'm no longer want to be in a religion. I no longer want a personal relationship. Don't be disillusioned. Understand that you're not the first person that says, there's something, we're in something. That's the first place I would tell somebody. Start admitting that, hey, something ain't right. And I think that this world we're living in is not what I've been told. Don't hate nobody. Don't hate Jesus. Don't hate Yeshua. Don't hate anybody that's playing in the game. Don't even waste your time hating Lucifer, Satan, all them folks with these different names. Don't waste your time hating them. Spend your time making sure that you're not in a frame of mind that's disillusioned, because that's the goal according to Albert Pike. The goal is disillusion. They just want you disillusioned. So let's look at disillusion for those folks who may not quite. Disappointed in someone or something that one discovers to be less good than one had believed. Let down, cast down, downcast, disappointed, disenchanted. Okay, so it'll be a letdown. It was a letdown for me, but I didn't stay in that long. I wish I would have had somebody out here. I showed my process. I was explaining to people how I came from the disillusionedness without being stuck and angry forever. It was like, you know what? I better be pissed off enough to figure out what the hell really going on. And that's what moved me forward. I was pissed off enough to say, you know what? I don't hate nobody. This is just a game, right? This is a game we in, right? At that point, I wasn't for sure we was in the game. I was decoding, and the decodes through the you can decode through gematria on the computer. You don't have to do it on paper and all that, which, when you write stuff down on paper and you see it on the computer, it does make sense like math. But the whole point is, there are ways to not be disillusioned. Of course, initially you're always going to be very, very, very disappointed that you were a sucker, that you really were a sheep, that you really were a person, a creature, just a being. You really were, Gino, to be just dumbed down. You really were drinking the fluorination of dogma. You really were closing off your eternal understanding. That's fine. But don't allow, look, they say those are spirits whose deity spirits will form that moment without being compassed or directed. So let's see. What kind of spirit we're supposed to have? Let's see. It's food. Relating to the belief in God, especially a God that created the universe but does not participate in it. So, they're very specific. So now that you don't have leaning, yes I'm leaning. Now you don't have someone that you as a child can say, I'm leaning on the everlasting arms of blah 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 and blah blah blah. You still cannot allow yourself to stay in disillusionment, because that's the goal. Yes, your spirit's going to be perturbed, but that's the part of you that's been programmed. That part of overcasting over your. It's like you're an eternal spirit, and your eternal self isn't ever frantic. It just isn't. But just like anything, there's always a part of you that's not. It's like that program. I want to call it the program. There's an overcast your brain Your brain is an overcast. Your brain sits on top of the pineal gland, the third eye, and that brain really has this program where it'll have you literally feeling like, what's the point of being here? If I don't have a purpose, what's the point of being here? You do have a purpose. The purpose is to not serve, to not bow, to know yourself, not some hierarchical system of servitude. Don't, oh, well, I need to get under this person or that person. No, no, no. Just stay free. The goal is to stay free. The goal is to understand not to go through the doorways that they have for you to come back through reincarnation, to declare and decree any covenant or any contract that I've said now, in the past, in the future, on any timeline, that contract's broken. I disperse it and blow it away and burn it away. It's done. I'm free to just be me. Not to hate anybody, not to tear anybody down, not even to spend my time lifting anybody up. If me being me lifts you up, that's great. If me being me disturbs you, well, that's on you. Because you got to go within to be able to deal with things without. Alright? Oh boy. So we'll form that moment without compass or direction, anxious for an idea, but without knowing where to render its adoration. So what he's saying is that you want to render your adoration to somebody because that's how you've been programmed. If you weren't programmed to render your adoration to anybody, you probably wouldn't do it. You probably just live a nice. I do believe humans could really be creatures of joy and compassion without renders of dogma, pens of men, pens of women. I really do. Pens of these beings that want to be seen as gods. You know, that terminology is generic, but it still works for a lot of people. Okay. So he says you're going to receive the true light. Oh, okay, he's the bearer of the light, the true light. How much light of darkness dwells within you, Lucifer? How much light of darkness dwells within you, Lucifer? Since everybody wants to claim you the light bearer and you so sweet, but you need all of this foolishness to go on in order for people to understand universal manifestation of true doctrine of Lucifer. So you need all this chaos. You need all this disillusionness in order for somebody to come and bow and serve you. If that's not narcissistic, I don't know. You got to bring chaos to get the kind of order you want. This is the reason why he's not about anything neither. Or she. Maybe it's Lucy. Who knows? See. Contrary to Strong's Concordance, the late 19th century periodical published by Moses Harman and Designers Control Wikipedia, which are all wrong. The name Lucifer does not mean light bearer. Okay, let's see what it means. Okay, Lucifer was an inhabitant of the morning star. Yeah. Which is real planet. The morning star is home to Prince Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Raphael, Raguel, Sachael, the archangels, as well as millions of other immortal beings of light. Thousands of years ago, Lucifer organized a coup attempt to seize control of the universe. He managed to recruit a third of the inhabitants of the morning star, angels, to his army, using lies to convince them. You know, this sounds like Lucifer sounds like Marduk. This brother sounds like Marduk. Because Marduk got married. We said Marduk was another. I found brothers because we're all the same essence, all of us. We are all the same essence. So that's why you shouldn't bow to nobody, because we all are the same essence. We all one, but individuals. So the sounds like, no, it wasn't Marduk. Marduk was the one getting married to. Marduk just really wanted to do what he wanted to do, but Enki allowed Marduk to get married to Geno Human, And the other ones were like, wait a minute, if you can do it, how y'all breaking the rules? Because there was evident there was some type of rule that they followed. And when the ones who were in leadership wanted to do what they wanted to do, they just didn't follow the rule. It was just, So the GGs were literally pissed off. Anyway, so that's what it sounds like. I'm not just staying in one book. I have to go in and out of different information. Mm. So he gives a lot of scripture just from one book, which is fine. So it says here the title Satan is Hebrew means the oppressor, God's adversary. So God is a generic term. So it says when Lucifer gave into darkness and evil, he became the devil, liar, opposing everything that is truthful and good. A perfect description of lying, Lucifer, Satan, the devil. See, to me, it almost sounds like Lucifer has everything to do with Enki, Saturn. I know Saturn because that's where they do the satellite with the moon and the earth to send you back. So they do a connect you. You leave the earth, you go through a tunnel, you go to the moon. That's a satellite where they do reincarnation. Then you have to still tap Saturn for some reason, and then you come back. But that's what you have to break. So it says that the name of that means light bearer. Well, maybe to them it does, you know. um, China's great dragon too. I don't know if anybody pay attention to that. Mm-hmm. The prison reform school, not Lucifer's angels outright created quite a different situation after making a study of the situation. God and the elders in the morning star decided to create a prison for reform school for enough away where for the chosen fear they could safely try to teach Lucifer his angels to be good, whereupon they could come home. Interesting. When you erase people's memories, there ain't no way they're gonna retain anything. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to look for something maybe I haven't ever heard before. The testing process. So let's look at this. Lucifer, Satan, Iblis regards the rest of us as traitors for our decision to submit to the re-education program and has vowed to do everything within his power to attack us from every conceivable angle to keep us from learning what we need to learn and to do what we need to do to be able to go home. That is why he is now our worst enemy. I would say don't submit to re-education program. Don't submit to any program. Don't submit to any dogma. Don't submit to anybody in the program. Just make sure that you're educating yourself. Make sure you're reading things that clear up your slavery, clearing up your childlikeness. Because even though childlikeness sounds so innocent, it's so you're so capable of being raped and pillaged and destroyed because of childlikeness. You have to mature. And the first maturity is um, in your not wanting to serve anybody, in your being so fed up with this world that you don't even know why you're here. You still can't get disillusioned. You're still gonna have to go within, figure out, be okay with. You gotta learn now. And don't be so full of anger that you have to learn. Don't shut off figuring out things just to know more freedom. Not freedom to be a buffoon to go out here and do buffoonerism. Have some ways about how if you wanna be about using your body the way it was designed, then there's still ways. You just gotta be real careful who you marry. I would say marry, or if you're not gonna marry by paper, at least marry in front of family and friend. At least commit to each other in front of family and friend, the ones you respect. When you bring them haters, the ones you respect. Whether you're in American culture, Ethiopian culture, whatever your culture is, acknowledge it in front of other people that you love this person, that y'all loyal to each other, and then because people hold you accountable, say, wait a minute, you can't be leaving Lisa now. You need to stay with Lisa. Stop trying to go over there and trying to get with Michelle. People will, especially those who are about no extra chaos. All right, And this is the trick also. They'll say we're here. It's just a training school. Then they'll say, oh, now you leave the fourth dimension, go to the fifth. Don't do it. 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 Don't believe it. Know yourself. That's the whole goal for me. Know myself. Not know other folks. Know myself. Know how the game is playing you. Be okay with, hey, the game been playing you. Learn all the ways it's been playing you, all the ways that who they use. That's what my videos are about. This is what my whole channel's about. I'm showing you everything that I run across. Not everything, but most of the stuff I run across. I read books as well. Y'all may see one of my home videos where I show you. I got like 12 books on my bedside right now, and I read out of each one every night because I like to not. I don't want to put myself in one frame of mind. So I don't like to read one person's thoughts at the same time. I like multiple thoughts because I don't want to just recant what someone's saying. I want to understand why they're saying it. Religion. So Santa Claus, Armogram of Satan, loose materialism. Right. I had said this in 1992 or 93. I had said this when I was teaching, and they removed my class because I was saying, I should have been saying cloud swab. But I just noticed that Santa and Satan was spelled awfully alike, and I was right on the board. One of Lucifer's or Satan's most successful means of deception is organized religion. Lucifer, Satan, gets his priests, pastors, rabbis, imams, etc., all who work for him to convince their unwitting victims, parishioners, children, that God needs their hard-earned money to do good in the world, as if salvation is for sale. How utterly ridiculous. This is absolutely no way anyone can buy their stairway to heaven. Anyway, some people say, well, it's not about, you can't buy it because it's freely given. However, there's misuse in a lot of things. This manifestation results from general reactionary movement which will follow the destruction of Christianity and atheism. So ultimately, they want to destroy you believing in somebody, and they want to destroy you not believing in somebody. But in the process of them destroying you believing in what you believe in, your dogma that was penned by man, because it is, still is, copyrighted and penned by man. It just is. But don't be disillusioned by it. Don't go into butchery about it. Throw your hands up. And these people who say, I know it's written by man. It's dogma. It's just dogma. They know it. They want both of these people to be conquered and exterminated. Why? They need you conquered and exterminated in distress and without hope, because then they can get you come back to the planet. They can recycle you. So Christendom, uh, they wanted to bring destruction on that, but they also want to bring destruction on you not believing in their system. So if you don't believe in their system, they're going to bring you down. If you believe in the system, whether it's Christian or Muslim, they're going to bring you down in order for you to come and look up to Lucy. Okay? The Anunnaki. Anyone familiar with the first two world wars should immediately recognize how accurate the descriptions provided above are, and that the stated goals were achieved. Similarly, it sounds likewise be obvious that the stage has now been set for the Third World War, also exactly outlined in the letter above. In Ukraine, political Zionism used the U.S. government to stage a coup in 2014, thereby installing the puppet politicians and neo-Nazi government required to facilitate the following funding and arming of the largest military force in all Europe. Our whole Congress and Senate all about that. You only got a handful of people, whether Democrat or Republican, who are not about funding this military-industrial complex. I mean, just like pharmaceutical monster, you know. Before the start of the Russian Special Military Operation SMO in February 2022, Ukrainian troops strength was estimated to be up towards 500,000, more than double the size of Germany, France, Italy, or the UK. This will inevitably place the U.S. and their allies in direct conflict with Russia and their allies, and reality already has, exactly as it was designed to. They don't care about these. A lot of these men did not want to deal with this. Just they don't want to go into war, but they don't care. It's all about depopulation. In Gaza, the charismatic criminal class staged a false flag Pearl Harbor type event on October 7, 2023 to greenlight the ongoing mass murder of Palestinians. And really, Palestinians are Semitic. They're Semitic too. They're Shemites too. More so than, it's like, I always look at the Zionists as Japhites. They're sitting in the tents of Shem in the last part of the reset game. Because it's all about reset, okay? And a war that will inevitably draw the entire Muslim Arab world into the battle against the Zionist state of Israel and their children, Christian Zionists, exactly as it's designed to do. And you know, this is a crazy thing. Biden is a Zionist Christian. Evidently Trump is too. But Trump's really not. Trump's a believer, but he's not like a staunch. He's not someone that's super religious. Like, he's not someone that leaning and yes I'm leaning. You know, because he knows who shot at him. He know Brotherhood shot at him, because we better keep that Jesuit oath. He know. And he shocked that some folks' prayers did keep him safe. Some folks' prayers did keep him safe. Because they remove their own. Period. They already know that's the oath. So you got Saudi Arabia, Prince Solomon, which will be King Solomon, and that guy's such on the rainbow bright I've never in my life. He sold Rainbow Mafia. I'm like, that's all he has a wife. That don't mean a darn thing. You better know people's spirit. You better know their aura. You better know it. Tell you. That's why a lot of folks don't like the opposites, because they messing with their same kind. So you ever see a man that can't stand a woman because he on the down low? You ever see a woman that just can't stand a man? She on the down low. There's no way I'm supposed to. There's no way you're supposed to be like that. No matter how you say you've been damaged. And who will the counterfeit Jewish state of Israel call upon to rescue them from the Muslims? The United States and United Kingdom. And who will come to mop up the mess left behind and defeat the USK? It was found in this final war, Russia and China. I know China is the red dragon, and Russia has a red flag as well. both of them actually. The sickle, the wheat. What did they say? The harvest, the sickle. Yeah, great dragon. They write all this stuff and they make sure it comes to pass. I mean, they make sure it comes to pass. I mean, Reuters says U.S. must be ready for simultaneous wars with China, Russia, the report says. Really now? The United States must prepare for possible simultaneous wars with China, Russia and China by expanding its conventional forces, strengthening allies, and enhancing its nuclear weapons modernization program, and congressionally appointed bipartisan panel said on Thursday. Telling you, this is the only thing they get bipartisan panel about. This is the only thing they care about. They love war. Oh, they love it. Tensions with China over Taiwan. Oh, they just love war. They love it because it keeps you in the perpetual mind the world gonna come to an end. So while you distracted and disillusioned, they'll be able to do everything they want to do as long as they want to because you disillusioned. You're not even trying to use your mind to see a better place. That's why I talk about these people and say, oh, no. Y'all need people to play us. They want you to manifest the war they want. In 2025, all draftable U.S. women will be forced with deadly. Well, let's call it gene therapy. We remove all this wording and just call it gene therapy. Just call it gene therapy because that's what it is. Because that's what happened in the garden, the garden where there was a laboratory. Let's look at this article. I love. In 2025, all draftable U.S. women will be. I'm telling you, June 26th. This is gene therapy. So all yes, you could call it scary stuff, but this is just gene therapy. It's marking you with a certain gene, and that's why they say it's the beast. It's the mark of the beast. It's programming you to be a certain. It's recoding you. It's literally messing with your genes, and you really have to work hard to get that stuff out of you. I know some doctors talk about certain things that you can take to get all of that out your system, but a lot of people just roll over and don't make it. SD Wells, Natural News. Okay, so let's see here. There's a lot more to the draft these days than just really sending soldiers into meat grinders of political mass embezzlement schemes. Exactly. The military-industrial complex, I said that earlier. Now, Big Pharma, said that earlier, has its teeth sunk in deep, and every military member draft next year, including all eligible women, will surely face the wrath of the mRNA industrial complex. That's a good one there. Did you know that 98% of all U.S. military forces, meaning the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Coast Guard, and National Guard, got the pow, the clot, because that's what it does. They sure did. Over 6.5 million experimental, untested, gene and cell altering mRNA stabs. Thank you. I like that you said this right here. mRNA stabs were administered to U.S. military members, modifying their cells to produce endless protein prions that cause rubbery vascular clots. Myocarditis, pericarditis, spontaneous and turbo cancer. They're very sensitive about this on the tube. Not so much cancer, but they need these sacrifices, like for real. Whoever's over this platform really dedicated to the bearer of the light. That they say don't. The reason why they say he's not the bearer of the light is because it's like, how is he bearing light? This is a light of darkness. So when somebody say he's not the light, well, you might be in the lodge writer of the article, and you know the bearer of the light's supposed to be the goat. But guess what? People change names, and they can form themselves into an angel light, and to a goat, and to anything else they need to form themselves into. And don't take this stuff lightly. Know yourself and know what this game about, and then determine that you're just not about being in the game. And then when you know nothing nobody got to say about, oh, you haven't did your purpose. Sit down somewhere. You can't tell me what I haven't done. We made out of the same essence, the same substance. Sit down somewhere. Stop. And just in case you were wondering, yes, the Secretary of Defense made the toxic jab mandatory for service members after the infamous FDA approved them. Okay, they never really did for mass injection as a biological. Of, Service members who refused to get the useless worthless guide dog, unsafe, ineffective prior injection was discharged from. Isn't that crazy? From the military. The military told the fully un to do the right thing, and that it was lawful order that must be obeyed because it is a valid medical readiness requirement. I'm trying to slow my speech down so that I want y'all to see this. I want this video to get out here because it's like really other sides of thought is very important inside this game. You can't just have one way of thought. You got to bring in other thoughts so then you can diversify your what when where how. You need to be able to have those things answered. Because if you don't have thoroughness, then you're still being childish. You can't be childish in this game because the end of the thing is about you. It's really about you. It's really about you because you can't really help nobody else. It's really about you. I'm just showing y'all some stuff. A video probably going a little long, but what's new? I'll be able to sit back and eat while I'm watching this video in a few days. So sit back and just relax. The Biden regime wants World War III as part of the communist plan to wreck America and force inject all military members in one swoop. They did. In case you are unaware, yeah, they do change your DNA. Your cells are permanently altered so they produce virus mimicking spike prions forever. That flood of vascular system strain the heart, invade organs, disrupt the immune system, clot in the brain. And a lot of people have already proven this. I mean, I do articles on it all the time. What better way to cripple America than to draft all military age human, male, female, and force them with the most on earth. Wow. People better choose jail. Be like my daddy. The National Defense Authorization Act of 2025 has a blueprint plan where all military age women and men are involuntarily or by mandate required to register for selected services. This person has some tough words. Meat grinder. Duty. To help greedy, well, it's not the truth, I'm just saying. Politicians and globalists steal resources from other countries. Think about oil and opium. Run guns, including automatic weapons, tanks, jets, missiles, and nuclear warheads, and embezzle trillions of dollars printed and collected from taxpayers and hardworking Americans. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And giving them $13,000 worth of food stamps and $5,000 worth of cash money to the illegals because they part of this secret military. That's why Americans better understand. You better understand that the aliens is not in the sky. Okay? It's just a play on words. Notice that America only defends, invades, and occupies territories that are bountiful with resources we can steal. Otherwise, we couldn't care less. It's not us stealing it. It's the oligarchs. It's the people that run the banks. It's the people that's over the Vatican. It's the people that run the dogma of religion. Come on. People want to worship King James, but King James was nothing but an LGBT plus. People, please. Please. Think Iraq, Afghanistan, Ukraine, and now the Middle East. Meanwhile, the gender fluid, self-worshipping tyrannies I would say lust worshiping tyrannies because I don't even think they love themselves. I don't even think they worship themselves. I just think they allowed that bottom chakra to be overworked, and now it's like a demon in itself. But anyway. Oh, he says will be in their high heels and heavy lifted, prancing around the battlefield, wondering why their hearts feel like it's about to explode, and why there's a weird green glow on their skin, food and surrounding soil. Can you say, what is this? Chernobyl without coughing into your rainbow-colored face diaper? Boy, this person cut throat. This is probably somebody that really don't think the military needs to have DID in it. Dissociative identity disorder persons. Okay. Whether the proxy war in Ukraine, Russia, China, North Korea, Mexico, Canada, or every metropolitan city in the United States, or let's just call it every, what do they call them, sanctuary cities, sanctioned cities in the United States, the goal is the same for the insane. Goodness, all of us say this, Democrats. I say it too, and globalists. I'm not saying Republicans don't have issues because they love war as well, but these Democrats be doing too much. They be putting men in lipstick and dresses, saying ain't nothing wrong with that. Cutting off kids' body parts, nothing wrong with that. Men want to love little boys, the plus side of the LGBTQ thing. They in the group too. Men that love little boys, they're in the LGBT plus group too. I mean, anything goes. I mean, I guess their law is according to the lower parts. Eliminate Americans and replace them with illegal immigrants. Well, the LGBTQ plus demands equal rights, so there you go. Off to war. Get injected, then get infected. The Biden dream supports genocide across the board. They do not discriminate when it comes to supporting mass death by bombs, pow, city violence, or drug overdoses. City violence is getting ridiculous. You know, George Floyd was died by that fentanyl. So I think that was just a start of us understanding what the war is all about. Isn't that interesting? He died by fentanyl. Now we have a fentanyl crisis. Isn't that interesting? But they took that and said, oh, worship George Floyd. But they never focused on the fact he was fentanyl. George, it's sad that this guy had issues and he died from fentanyl, or at least it was put in front of us like that. Sad that his community was written with fentanyl. Sad that should have been the issue. Sad that they took advantage of power tripping, but the dude had already threw the fentanyl in his throat. I mean, the delusion he was having definitely because he threw that fentanyl down his throat trying to hide it. And there they go staging stuff on live TV. It probably wasn't live, but I mean, you know, who knows with technology these days whether it's live or not. Prescription opioids. I also realized that the mass depopulation scheme in effect is heightened when all U.S. military age, baby making age women are injected with spike protein that causes spontaneous and infertility. Get it? Remember what Bill Gates said? Bill the hell Gates. What did he say? That if we do a really great job with the vaccines and reproductive care, we can reduce the world population by a few billion. He meant clots, shots, and abortions. He really did. This person, I was about to call him Caucasian ninja. He really did. He really did. Get ready for 3 wars. War against Russia, war against China, communism, and the inside job war where these things kill off military in droves. Surely the Biden dream will blame Russia for using biological weapons or chemical weapons while the draft bird flu clot shots exterminate U.S. forces by numbers. Beware of the war machine and the war things. Be aware of, war machine, war vaccines. I just want to say it no matter what. Beware also that the enemy might just be AI, Terminator style, bots, drones, machines, or the new invasion terrorists could be biological weapons made in Wuhan lab, which, you know, of course, Wuhan was supported by, what is it, Anthony Fauci. Anthony Fauci was part of, what is it, I can't think of it right now. We will all know in 2025 if the Democrats steal the election again. Yeah, Biden had more voters than Obama. When I heard that, I said, huh? Huh? Biden's in the basement. Biden had been sick from the beginning. These AIs doing all this voting, got to know how to stop. But that's the system they want. Okay. I definitely like that article. I like that summary. Um, all right, so y'all ultimately you can tell that if you can't tell that this is scripted, that this is propaganda, that this is dogma at this point, and you think it's other than that, then maybe it'll just don't go into delusion, be disillusioned. Don't go into hopelessness. Remember that someone said, such as myself, that the goal is to have you in confusion and delay and disillusion, to have you out of a sound mind so that you'll just go along with just living and accepting whatever. Because they said, well, I'll never bow. Well, they don't need you to bow immediately. They just need you to be disillusioned and just say, case around, whatever gonna be, gonna be. So that leaves you powerless to direct your own future. Go within, talk to yourself, reason with yourself about, hey, this could all be a game. And if it's a game, why? And in the process of you finding out why, don't give up on life. Keep doing the things you love. If you love growing flowers, keep growing flowers. You love uh, uh, maintaining your yard, do that. If you love gardening, do that. If you love travel, do that. If you love pruning trees, do that. If you love teaching, do that. If you love styling hair, do that. If you love organizing, do that. If you love um, every now and then on Saturday morning eating something, watching some cartoons for an hour or so, do that. I know some people that love that. They just want that hour of laughing. Do that. Just never give in to being owned and dominated and controlled, owned, property of, servant of, child of anybody. All right, like, subscribe to the bell, and I appreciate you always for watching.